Hello, Julie here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to start a new journal. I've just received my design team kit from BB Craft, and I'm going to be using a couple of items from that kit on this project. So today I am making a journal cover, and I'm following I watched a YouTube clip by Sue over at Paper Inspirations on how she makes her fabric journal covers, and I wanted to try that. Now, I watched that video a year ago, I suppose, and ever since then it's been on my mind to make one, so today's the day. Now, the fabric I'm using is, this is like a curtain fabric sample, you know, those sample big long things you get with all the different fabric samples in them. Well, this is one of those, and this, which is on the back, which will be in the inside of the cover, is a fat quarter that I bought from Spotlight. So that's what I've used. Now, as you noticed, this, or you may not have noticed, but this has got a row of paper along the edge. I've left that on there. Now, to attach it to my, I've used this watercolour cardstock. It's just one I bought from like Riot Art or something like that, and I just use it as solid paper because it's really quite thick. It's 300 GSM and very sturdy. So I've used a full A3 sheet of that, and to attach my fabric to that watercolour paper, I used double-sided interfacing. Now, I had seen someone use this before and thought it was a great idea. Instead of trying to get your glue on there nice and evenly so it doesn't, you know, show through the fabric, I thought this was a good idea. Sue actually uses, what does she use on hers? Can't remember. She used glue, I think. Can't remember really. But I will link her video in the description box so you can have a look at how she does it. So this is double-sided iron-on interfacing, and I got this from Spotlight as well. And you can see, luckily enough, it's just about the right height. So, and you buy it by the metre, so you can buy as much or as little as you like. And I think I bought a metre, and this is about all I've got left. So you need about a metre for each journal cover. Now, Sue cut herself a template out of a folder, and I've done the same thing. Now, this file folder is like a plasticized one, so this should last me for quite some time. Now, well, that's weird because Sue's paper was 17 inches long. Mine's only 16.5, but that's alright because 16.5 will be fine because I'm only putting one signature in here. I think Sue does 17 inches if she's using 2 signatures. So I'm going to cut, first of all, I'm going to draw around this template so that I can cut it out straight. Now, well, I don't even know if that paper's straight, to be honest. I assumed it was. Not really, but anyway. So what I'm going to do is draw around that, and I'm taking, this is the bit that folds over, so I'm not worried about it being short there. So I'm going to use a black marker, or no, I'll just use a biro. Let's see if I can find a normal biro. There we go. Shall I do it on the inside or the outside? I'll do it on the inside. Do the tracing on the inside so that, you know, if I don't get it absolutely perfect. So I'm just going with the rounded corners at this stage. mean, you could probably draw this on yourself just with a ruler, but I didn't want to run the risk of that, because you can bet your boots I'd end up with it nice and crooked, or, you know, not square, and it wouldn't sit properly. Now if I just move that back a little, I can draw around those corners, and I can get my corner rounding correct. Okay, now I'll put the holes in later. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to endeavour to just cut on the inside of that line so that it's not visible. Could probably use, I'm going to try using my rotary trimmer to cut this. So let's bit tricky. Let's try it. So put this on there, and there, and then I have to stand up to do this. That worked alright. Now I'll turn it around and do the other side. I don't know if this is all fitting in screen, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. Okay. So now all I have to do is the corners. And as much as I'd like it to, I don't think my corner rounder would go through all of these layers. It's hard enough to cut it with the scissors. Okay, so now this is going to be the front, and that will go like that, and that will lap over like that. Okay, so now these two lines here are the folds. So I'm going to poke a hole in those. Oh, well, I'm probably, if I do a three-hole punch, three-hole stitch, I want one in the middle, which is there, and then one up an inch and one down an inch. So I'll poke holes there. And place that on there like that, make sure I've got the front correct. And then draw a dot through there. Yep. One there, one there. Make them a little bit darker. Now, Sue also marked this fold, and I will do that because that's how she knows where to stitch the front closure onto, up to. So, let's put that in there. Line that up there. And mark that. I don't want this one to be quite so noticeable. So, perhaps I use a lead pencil. I wonder if I can see that. Bit there. And there. Yes, I can see those. But that's really all I need to be able to see them. Here and there. Okay, so there we have our cover. Now, Sue shapes her covers here, makes them all very pretty, but at this stage I'm going to stick with just the rounded corners on mine and see how that works for me. Now, I haven't finished putting my signature together, but I have got these avocado dyed papers that I created, or I dyed the other day, and they are nowhere near as dark as the last lot I did, and yet the last lot I did exactly the same way, so I don't know, I used the same amount of avocados, but anyway, so now I just need to put the rest of my signature together. I'm only having one signature in here, as I said, and I'm using all the scrappy bits, you know, the bits that the corners tore or whatever. I think it will make quite an interesting journal. I'm going to use this journal. I'm going on holidays in 3 weeks' time, and I'm making this journal to take with me. I like to just write down what I do each day, and then when I get home and I've got all my photos, I know exactly what's what. Alright, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to go and see what else I want to put in my signature, and then I'll probably put some envelopes or something like that in there as well, just to hold things. I'm going to be away for 3 weeks, so I've got over a page for each day, so that should be enough. But by the time I add, you know, tickets and things like that, I'll need pockets and envelopes in there, and put a pocket on the inside cover here. I don't know what I'll do just yet, but anyway, so far I have got the cover I'm not pressing really hard on here, I'm just coaxing it a little bit. I'm trying to get it to sort of, I should use my ruler. Where is that? Where's that gone? Put my ruler on there and then just put that a little bit of coaxing. I don't want a sharp fold, but I do want it to bend in the right spot. Okay, there we go. So once my signature's in there, that will fold over like that, and then this will come over like that. Okay, alright, no worries. I'll be back when I've got my signature sorted out. Actually, when I was looking at it, I thought I'm going to go around the edge with my pinking shears and give it a nice decorative edge. Might have to get my husband to do this because it's not good for my arthritis. I can hardly. Okay. Alright, I'm going to get my husband to do that. I didn't like the pinked edge, so I cut that straight using my cutter and rounded the corners again. It didn't cut nicely and it all just frayed out, which is good in one way, but not what I was looking for. So I have taken it to my machine and you can see I've stitched all around. I've stitched in black on that side and like a burgundy colour on the outside. So that is that. And I also stitched around all of my pages. And that's the same. It's got burgundy on one side and black on the other. And I have added an envelope. That's the only thing that I've added extra. But I will add pockets and things like that. So yeah, I'll make up for the extra space, but really and truly I don't need a lot of space in this because it's only for a one-off short, 3-week holiday, and some of that time's going to be spent doing nothing much, so I don't need a lot of space. Now what I'm going to do now is make the closure. So I'm going to put this fabric that I've got on the inside, I'm going to put that on the outside for my closure. And I've cut 2 strips 1.5 inches wide. Now I have to take this to my sewing machine and sew it, but I thought I would give a little bit of an explanation before I do that. So I have got this for my closure. Now I got this from BB Craft in my design team kit for September, and I love the idea of using that as a closure. So my plan is I'm going to stitch around this. I'm going to leave the raw edges exposed, and I haven't decided how long I need to make it as yet, because what happens is these just clip on, and but I do want to make it so that there is some room for expansion if need be. Although, as I just said, in this one I'm probably not going to need a lot of room for expansion, so that might not be necessary. So yeah, so the plan is to stitch around here. I probably, so if that's on there like that, and that comes over like that with that coming with it, and then this one comes over like that, then this would say clip onto that, then this could fold back. Don't really need a great deal of it, do we? Because that, see, that still leaves heaps of room in there. I think what I really will need to do is really shorten these. So perhaps if I just bring it to there. That goes under, that goes over there, and then this comes over. Because I know that this one's not going to expand, I don't need to allow for it. So I'm going to make these a lot shorter. I'm going to end up with something like that, and that has got plenty of room in it. Probably don't even need that much room, to be honest, but it's better to have more room than not enough, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I might just tighten that a little bit more. So something like that, although that's just about off of there. Now this is going to have to go in my suitcase or handbag, so it is going to get squashed. But I think that about that length is good, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch this where you can see that I only really need half of what I've got there. So it's only about 10 inches. So I'm going to trim this down. So cut that off first, and then trim this back. I will allow, I'll do 11 inches just because I can. Now I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'll stitch around the whole outside edge, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done that, and now I'm going to stitch this on, but first of all I'm just going to hold it in place with a little dab of glue, and I'm going to stitch it up to where the cover folds around. Now before I do that, I want to make sure I've got it fairly well in the middle of, now that's 9, it's 4.5, so that's pretty good. So then what is that? That's 3 3/4. Still, this is not perfectly straight either, so I'd be better off just to do it by eye. So that's pretty good for that. Now, just a little bit of glue here. A little bit of glue in the middle of this section, so just got to go by eye about here. Still 3 3/4 down. Yeah, pretty good. Then a little dab here, which is about where the signature is going to be stitched in. I guess if you wanted to, you could stitch your signature in first and then this belt would go over the top of that. But I'm going to do it like this first. So there's where our signature is going to be stitched in. Okay, so how is it? Have I moved it at all? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, stitch, stitch and stitch, leaving these ends loose. Okay, I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've stitched that on. I've stitched over it quite a few times to make sure that it is secure. And the thread got caught up in that one, so I'll see if I can get that out, but I can do that anytime. Yeah, so that's what it looks like on the inside. It's got 3 rows of stitching there. Now let's have a look. That folds over like that, that folds over like that, that folds over like that. Now this can fold back. And that can clip on there. And then this can come. Well, I think I've folded it back a little bit too much. Perhaps if I put this side on first, like so. And then I just have to fold this back until it's closed. So there we have it. Very good. I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to put my signature in there, and that will be my journal ready to start decorating. Now, where is my signature? There it is there. Let's make sure we've got this fully down. As far as we can. Nice and tight in their spine. Then I'm going to use some of these clips and hold that in place. Okay, now I'm going to, I probably shouldn't, but this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to just hold that next to that, where I think I've got it about centrally, maybe up a little fraction. And then I'm going to just use my biro and mark, well, actually I'll use a felt tip, and I can get that right down next to that, so that the spot will actually be on the fold. And we won't see it when the signature's actually bound in there. So can I see those? Can't see the bottom one. Line that up with that one. This one. Now I can see it. Okay, so there, there and there. So I'm going to use my poker tool. Where did I put that? There we go. And this, and I'm going to poke the holes in through there. It's a bit of hit and miss really, isn't it? Perhaps I'll poke them in through this way. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we need to poke the holes in here. I'm going to, yeah, there's one. Two. Just go through a lot of layers, that one. And this one. 3. Okay, so let's go over to this side, find our holes, poke them through. Right, okay, now a needle. I'm going to use this waxed thread, and it's the first time I've used it. I've only just got it from BB Craft, and so this is the first time I'm using it. They say about 3 times, so 2, about 3. I don't mind if it's a bit more. And now, I was thinking that I might colour this because white's alright, but I was thinking I might colour it with some pink. So let me get, I'm going to try the barn door and see what I think of that colour. So let's just try it a little bit. Do you reckon that would be alright? Is it a bit too bright? I have got Victorian velvet that probably might be a little bit of a better colour. Still got that campfire on my finger. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so Victorian velvet it is. There. Right, so what I'm going to do is just on my desk here, I'm just going to put some of this Victorian velvet down. Then I'm going to spritz it a bit with some water. Then I'm just going to roll my string in it. Now I'm going to have to let that dry a little bit. Perfect colour. I'm going to have to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll come back and thread my signature in, and then that will be it for this video. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so this thread is mostly dry. To be honest, it's not completely dry, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. So now I'm going to, I can do it this way, or I could start from the outside at the top, and then whatever I've got left over, it can hang down. Let's do that. So starting at the top, let me make sure this is the top. Yes. Yep. So start from the outside top, thread your needle through, and through your signature. Make sure that you're not, I'm just going to clip that up there so that I don't pull it out. Okay, so now, what should we do now? Should we go down through the middle? Yeah, go through the middle and through the middle. Hole. So let's just poke that through there, and now find the middle hole here. I think that's it there. There. Oh, that stitching's making it very hard to get through, but we can do that and pull that through there. Okay, we've got that now. Now we come up through here and up through here. Then in through that one again, the hardest one of course, and out. Oh gosh. We want to make sure that we've got this nice and firm. And then we take this up to here. Actually, I want more up there. Okay, so now we can tie this off. So before I do that though, I want to check and make sure that I've got these nice and firm. Yep, so tie that off. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to tie this off, and I'm going to tie it up the top there. these clips off. Fold these over so they're a bit flatter. And then, so upside down. And there, this can stay clipped onto this piece. And then we can position it so that, well, actually, there's not that much more on there than we need. So by the time I put some extras in there, that will be great. Okay, alright, so that will flatten out a bit as I use it, and you know, gets pushed in my bag and things like that. That will flatten out a bit more, and that will release that back a little. Okay, so later on when I'm doing my decorating and organising, I will probably hang something off of this, maybe thread some beads and things on it. And yeah, so there we go. There's my little travel journal, all bound and ready to use. Well, not really, I'll do some decorating in that later. So yeah, alright, well there we go. My first fabric, this style of cover for my journal, using the inspiration from Paper Inspirations, Sue over there. So the reason I got this stuff from BB Craft was to try this style of cover, and I have to say that I'm really happy with that. This pack of those closures that I've got, and I'll put links to these in the description box below of course, but I also got some of these, and these hook into each other, so I could stitch them on there like that, and then that hooks into that. So you'd need to make your, you know, your band a bit longer for that, so that they could hook into each other. So yeah, so that's another idea, and I'll probably do something like that with those as well. Alright, well thank you for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, it really helps. And yeah, I hope you can join me when I continue on and do some decorating in here. Okay, bye for now.